So, with Sandman, who is my most wanted character to come to Marvel Contest Champions, and he's finally coming in April, I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to do a top 10 of the characters I'd like to come to Marvel Contest Champions now. As I did this with Transformers Fortress Fight, rest in peace, how many other years ago that was, and I don't think hardly any of those characters got added because the game got shut down. So, I think it would be a good time for me to do characters that I'd like to come to Marvel Contest Champions. First of all, this is an opinion. This is not, what the community would like. This is what I would like because it is my channel and I can do what I want. So if I don't include your favourite Marvel champion that isn't yet in the game, then leave a comment on who you'd like to come into the game. That's one of the reasons the comment section exists. Or make your own video and link it in the description. In the comments. I'd probably watch it, maybe give a bit of a reaction to it if you'd like. Anyway, second of all, 97% of you are not subscribed. What are you doing? If you do like this content and you keep coming back, feel free to hit that red subscribe button and turn it to grey. That would be greatly appreciated. Now onto the list. Now, first of all, these aren't in any particular order, and the character I've got on screen right now is a character that, should they come to a game, would probably not be a character unless he's severely toned down. He'd probably be like an endgame boss, probably, but Infinity Ultron is a character I'd love to come to the game. He's got a cape, so there's plus points there. He's got a lance, even more plus points, and he's got the Infinity Stones, which are not used to kill half of all life, which is a little few points knocked back. But Ultron in Marvel What If, oh my god, I fell in love with this character after that, mainly because he's just an insane broken powerhouse, and he basically defeats the Watcher. If he was to go into the game, probably be an endgame boss, but if he was, I wouldn't be too mad, and he'd probably be Tech or Cosmic. I'd probably lean towards Cosmic because of the Infinity Stones. I've got Ultron on this list, Infinity Ultron on this list. Next up is Black Knight. Ever since the end credit scene to Eternals, I've been quite looking forward to this character making his debut in the MCU. Class, I'd probably say skill or maybe mystic. I'm not too versed in the comic book lore of Black Knight, so I'm sorry if I'm getting all this stuff wrong, but feel free to let me know in the comments what class they would be. So, of all these characters would be if I get these wrong, because I do like to be educated on this stuff. So, yeah, he's a knight, he's got a cape, and he's got a sword. Very, very good combination in my books. As you'll probably see with most of these characters, I just think they look cool, and they've got cool stuff to them, because I have an aesthetic appreciation of like a 7-year-old. So, yeah, I'd like Black Knight to come to the game, with the Ebony Blade. Maybe if Kabam does more variants, we could have like a sword wielder variant where, you have a sword wielder, you get bonus damages, and that way I can use Gore a lot more. Even though I use him too much already, but I want to use him even more. So, now that's enough on Gore. I just like Black Knight to come to the game. He looks cool, and he has a sword, and he's got a cape, and he's a knight. I don't really think that needs much more to be said. Next up, a character which I know would appear on a lot of people's lists is Mystique. Now, Kabam have said the reason that Mystique has not come to the game is because the technology isn't there yet, and I think it's very, very close. We have Absorbing Man, who came at the beginning of this year, and he is able to change his forms mid-fight. So I think Mystique would definitely be able to change, either fighting as the character that your opponent is, or a character in your roster that you've brought, mid-fight or whatever. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or how Zoroark works in Pokemon, where Zoroark changes his form to a Pokemon that is at the bottom of your party. Maybe Mystique could work like that, where she's a random character in your party that you bring, and I think that'd be pretty cool. And maybe, with Baron Zemo, she uses her guns, and the first hit is a projectile, which means you can't parry her properly, or at all, I should say. So, yeah, I think Mystique is a character a lot of people want to come to the game, and I do think it's coming close, especially after Absorbing Man came out. And as I said, he can change his form mid-fight. And with Sandman, I think he could, because obviously he's made of fucking sand, I think he could be he's going to have godly animations. And I think with Sandman, they're going to be pushing the tech that they have already. And I think Mystique could be very, very close to coming to this game in maybe like a year or two time. So I do think she is coming. Next up is US Agent. This is primarily because I rewatched Falcon and the Winter Soldier not too long ago. And, US Agent, look, US Agent in that show is a character that you love to hate. You're not supposed to like John Walker in that series because obviously he replaces Steve Rogers. So you're not supposed to like him. But I think he could be a great addition to the contest. Or the game, I should say, but it's the contest. Come on, contest of champions. Hopefully, this guy would be just like a better version of Classic Cap, because Classic Cap is absolutely dreadful because he's not been updated at all yet. Because they could bring a Captain America buff, which would make the science class even more stacked than it already is. But what would John Walker be? I would probably say skill, but obviously Super Soldier Serum, I think. I don't quote me around the comics, but please educate me. I am very much free to be corrected in the comment section. He could be science, he could be skill, but I'd probably much prefer skill. But, Kabam will do whatever Marvel basically says they can do, so... US Agent, he'd just be a nice addition. Also, with Thunderbolts coming out, I can't remember when that's coming out. I think that's next year. I think that could be a great time for US Agent to come into the game. Next up is Daken. Is it Daken? Yeah, Daken, Wolverine's son. Wolverine is one of my favourite characters in comic books, mainly thanks to Hugh Jackman's performance in Wolverine, as I'm going to take a sip of water. Not tea, I know. I usually have a cup of tea to hand in my videos, but no, I got a glass of water this time. As much as I love Wolverine, in MCOC, he's not had the classic Wolverine. He's not the greatest champion in the world unless he's got the Horseman with Apocalypse, unless he becomes a Horseman with Apocalypse. We've got X-23, we've got Classic Wolvie, we've got Old Man Logan, and we've got Weapon X. Wolverine, and look, I know people say, but James, with Brideriser, we've got a load of Wolverines, we've got a load of Spider People, and I'm going to be including another one in that I want to come to the game. I should have been two because I do want to give a few honorable mentions thinking about it. But look, we've got a load of Spider People. Why not some more Wolverines? And I think Daken's the prime candidate for that. Maybe, I know we do have an X-Men event coming up, maybe he's going to be in the game, so I could get one of these right. You never know this year. But yeah, hopefully this guy's just a more, jacked up Wolverine that we already have in game, and hopefully he comes with a synergy with, OG Wolverine to make him a little bit better. I would love that, but we'll just have to see if he comes to the game or not first. But I got Daken because I love Wolverine, and I want a jacked Wolverine to play in game. Next up, Jean Grey. But Brideriser, we have Jean Grey in the game. No, we have Phoenix, who I actually completely forgot that she was in the game up until recently when I had to fight her as a boss in Incursions. I completely forgot about Phoenix, but again, Jean Grey, you know, with our, X-Men, we didn't get a lot. We didn't get any last year. We got Brotherhood of Mutants, we got Toad, and we got Sauron, who I don't think is a Brotherhood of Mutant. But again, feel free to correct me in the comments. But yeah, X-Men. I'm hoping that Jean Grey's coming. With the X-Men event coming, that would be nice. But we've got Professor X, who's a telepath. Maybe I'd like another telepath, and I'd like more X-Men. And also with Jean Grey, maybe she gives a buff to Cyclops to make him a good character. Because Cyclops in this game, we've got two versions of him, and they're both shit. So I'd very much like Jean Grey to come to the game because of that. And also, as I said with Dakin, we're lacking. We've lacked a few mutants last year. Maybe to balance them out, maybe because mutants were pretty OP up until last year. But I'd very much like Jean Grey to come to the game because of that. I'd like mutants to could be back at the forefront of the game. They are one of my favourite classes. And I love the X-Men just as like a group. So that's why I've got Jean Grey here. Next up, Scarlet Spider. James, that's my first name, by the way. James, we've already got a load of Spider people. Why do we need more? Because Spider-Man's one of the most popular characters in comic books. And I know Scarlet Spider isn't a very popular character because of the story, I do believe. Again, feel free to correct me. But yeah, I remember when we had Spider-Punk in the Summoner's Choice, and I thought, if this guy gets like to the end, I swear to God, which is why everyone was saying it was like, no more Spider people. But I think this one, Spider-Woman and Spider-Man Noir, they're like the three Spider people that I'd like to come to the game more. Just not Spider-Punk, please. But yeah, Scarlet Spider, we don't really have like, apart from like Penny Parker's, we don't really see a lot of Spider people at like the forefront of MCOC, apart from like the villains. And yeah, Scarlet Spider and Spider-Man Noir are the ones I would actually give leniency to. It's like, all right, fair enough, I'll let these slide. Just not Spider-Woman, please. Next up is Stormbreaker 4. When Infinity War came out, I'm very surprised that and when Endgame came out, I'm very surprised we did not get Stormbreaker 4. Just look. I loved 4 in Infinity War. Endgame, not so much, but Infinity War, when he got Stormbreaker, absolute powerhouse. Just, I would love that for MCC. Just give us like armor breaks through the roof, shocks through the roof, and furies through the roof with Stormbreaker 4. That is, I'm been on this hype train for a while with Stormbreaker 4. I would love for him to come to the game. Would he come? Maybe. I don't know. I think they do base array build first before Stormbreaker 4. But look, I do think the time for Stormbreaker 4 to come to the game has come and passed. He didn't come in Infinity War when that came out. He didn't come in Endgame when he came out. And he did not come when Love and Thunder came out, because we got Gore and we got Valkyrie, who are some of my favourite champions in the game now, so I'm not really complaining too much. But yeah, I just think he'd be a cool character. Like when he, when we start fights, Stormbreaker comes to, he calls for Stormbreaker. I just think, that'd be cool. And then animations would be, I do think the animations would be pretty sick as well. So yeah, that's my whole reasoning for Stormbreaker 4. Shocks, armor breaks, furies through the roof, and Stormbreaker. Next up is Bullseye. We have been cock-teased for Bullseye for 2 fucking years in Summoner's Choice, and he did not make it through. When he was still in the vote, I voted for him all the fucking time. Because ever since Daredevil Season 3, I was like, I want Bullseye in the game. I really, really want Bullseye in the game. He'd be skill, duh. And by the way, ever since, I can't remember when. I haven't actually, since Black Knight, I haven't given the classes, mainly because they're maybe a little bit too obvious. I don't know. But yeah, and I think with Bullseye, what I'd like to do with Bullseye is, with Jessica Jones, since she's in the game now, like her special one, she throws like a whole random bits of stuff at you. Do the same with Bullseye for his specials, as with Bullseye, anything he has and he throws is basically a lethal weapon. So we could do that with Bullseye, just, just throw a load of shit at them, whatever kind of shit the Kabam want to put in, and put that in the game. And EV skill, obviously, and as I said, with Bullseye in Daredevil Season 3 is basically the reason for this guy appearing on my list, and I just think he'd be so cool. Also, maybe he'd come with Daredevil Born Again, as that has just started filming, I believe, and that's coming out next year. I think that'd be a perfect time for, while that is running, to put Bullseye in the game. So I hope that he comes next year, and we don't get him in Summoner's Choice again, and I get cock-blocked again. So that's my reasoning for Bullseye. And then finally, this is the character I would like most to come to the game. I know I've just simped for Bullseye for God knows how long. I'm now going to simp for Lizard. If Sandman and Lizard came to the game at the same time, that would have been my favourite month for MCOC by far. Lizard's like, I think that obviously now got Sandman. Lizard's now the most wanted Spider-Man villain. I would like in the game. Give him ruptures, or maybe give him ruptures, give him bleeds, just give him all the debuffs in the world. Would they do, so I don't know, maybe they do like something with Kurt Connors, maybe like Kurt Connors starts the fight and you build up to like a special one, and he takes like, an injection to make him become a Lizard. I think that'd be quite cool, I do think the technology is there. As I said, we've got Sandman coming in April, and we've got Absorbing Man who's able to change forms during the fight. So I do think that'd be possible, but I'd much prefer it just to be Lizard all the time. And, maybe like Special 3 could be like him dragging, them into the sewers or something. I don't know. Just like get like ruptures or bleeds or just like, and obviously he's got scales. So maybe, just maybe, make him like a Korg, and he does damage when the opponent hits him, just to make him even more, just make him an annoying defender. I think that'd be quite cool. So yeah, I've probably simped a little bit more for Bullseye than I have for Lizard, but look, Lizard is my most wanted character. Bullseye's next, definitely. So if Lizard comes, Bullseye's next. And maybe this, I would like to see other people's suggestions in the comment section. I think that'd be quite cool, and I would do a list if I get enough comments, and if this video pops off in the algorithm, I think that'd be possible. Excuse me. So that is it for this video of me basically simping over Lizard and Bullseye and Infinity Ultron and nearly every single else, but mainly Lizard and Bullseye. If you stuck around, listen to me simping over all these characters, thank you so much. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, because as I said, most of you, 97% of you, haven't hit it yet. So that'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, goodbye.